not with cruel roar, but the metallic click-chitter Dravok laughter that sounded like grinding gears. The boy didn't flinch, though. His fingers stayed gently curled around the frail hand of the beggar lying in the alley. His thin coat was draped across her shoulders, useless against the night wind on Zephyr. 9, but meaningful in warmth of intent. Around them, the gleaming streets of the capital buzzed with alien life. Dravoks with polished chrome plating and beetle-like exoskeletons walked past, heads turning to sneer or chuckle. A few even pointed. A human child offering help. How precious. Perhaps he thinks kindness buys honor in our empire. He should know better. That one's a wretch. Useless, cast-off filth. She's not worth the dust on her claws. Still, the boy said nothing. His name was Eli, just 15 cycles old, born on the Mars, Zephyr Unity Accord Station. His father worked cargo hauls between systems, and his mother, a cultural xenolinguist, had insisted on bringing him down to the surface of Zephyr 9 to observe the Dravok High Festival. That morning, he'd slipped away from the structured tour, curious to explore the glittering streets on his own. And now he was here, kneeling beside the beggar everyone else ignored or mocked. Her body was slight, almost skeletal beneath the grime and tattered rags. Her once violet skin had faded to a sickly gray, and her forearms trembled with weakness. But what struck Eli most was her eyes, piercing silver beneath the dirt, old and regal, watching him not with desperation, but with something like sorrow. "Are you cold?" he asked softly, wrapping his coat tighter around her. "I can get help." Her lips barely moved, her voice like wind over stone. "Do not draw the eyes of nobles. They forget mercy long ago. But you're hurt. They will not help me. I am a ghost to them." The crowd around them thickened briefly as a parade float past. Bright banners, drums, Dravok nobles in silk armor atop hover barges. One of them, a tall, sleek figure in a crimson cloak, noticed the scene and halted. "Human whelp," the noble barked. "Move from the refuse. You disgrace our day." Eli stood up, not backing down, just as his mother had taught him. "She's not refuse. She's a person." Gasps, then laughter again, harsher, colder. The noble sneered. "You show compassion to what is beneath dirt. That thing was exiled years ago for crimes against empire." "What crimes?" Eli asked. She defied order, claimed a throne never hers. Madness, lies. Her name was struck from record. But the beggar's eyes gleamed suddenly, not in fear, in quiet fury. "I did not claim the throne," she whispered. "I was born to it." The noble froze. Something tightened in his posture. Around him, Dravok guards shifted uncomfortably. "You dare speak those words again," he hissed. Eli glanced between them. "Who is she?" The beggar pulled herself up on one arm, just enough to raise her voice. It rang out, weak but filled with ancient power. "My name is Varshethi of House Trinex, firstborn of Emperor Karzal. You exiled me in secret, so your master could rise on lies and poison. But the blood of the crown cannot be erased." The crowd stopped. Everything halted. Silence hung like frost. And then, "Blasphemy!" the noble shouted, drawing a blade that shimmered with gravitic energy. "This impostor dies now." He lunged. Eli's heart stopped. But before he could even cry out, the beggar, Varshethi, lifted one trembling hand and flicked her fingers. The noble froze in place mid-stride, eyes wide. His sword clattered to the ground. From the rooftops above, cloaked figures appeared, Dravoks with sleek armor unlike the guard below. Their crests bore the old sigil of House Trinex, thought extinct. They descended in a blur, surrounding the scene in seconds. The crowd began to panic. An armored figure landed beside Eli. Not a Dravok, but a human in Earth's Special Diplomatic Corps uniform. "Are you Eli Weston?" she asked. He nodded, confused. "Why, yeah. You just triggered an interstellar incident by accident and possibly saved the Queen. Nice work, kid." Varshethi stood slowly now, supported by 2 of her loyal guards. Her form seemed to grow with every breath, regal presence returning. Dirt fell from her like a dying illusion. She looked at Eli. "Why?" she asked. Why stop for me when others spat and mocked? He shrugged. Because you looked like you needed help. Tears welled in her silver eyes. In all these years of exile, only one hand reached for mine, a child of a different species, one not born to this world. More soldiers arrived, this time from the Dravak Empire proper, but they hesitated. No one was sure what to do. And then, from the sky, an Imperial broadcast flickered on every screen, every drone, every wall. It showed a recording. Grainy ancient footage, pulled from hidden archives. It was a young Varshethi, standing in the Dravak Royal Hall. A trial. She was arguing her right to rule, her bloodline, her father's death. The High Court ignored her. Then a voice, the same noble who just tried to kill her, declaring her mad, unstable, unfit. The footage ended with her being dragged away, silent, betrayed. The truth was out. A collective roar spread across the crowd. Confusion, shame, outrage. The Dravak Empire had executed a silent coup decades ago, and their true queen had lived among filth, mocked by her own people, while only a human boy remembered what it meant to kneel beside the suffering. 2 days later, the capital flew new banners, House Trinix reborn. The nobles who conspired were arrested or fled to fringes. Varshethi, now restored, stood tall in polished royal armor. But at her coronation, beside the ceremonial staff and crown, stood a small boy in borrowed robes. Eli Weston, the boy who saw a queen in a beggar. She made one declaration before the galaxies. Let this empire never forget. Power may build walls, but only kindness can raise empires. And when we are blind, the heart of a stranger may lead us home. The aliens no longer laughed at Eli. They bowed.